Good afternoon, everybody. It's John for Father's Rights, my anti-human trafficking channel. We're going to be a little bit offbeat, but we'll get back on track to the subject of my channel. Right now, I'd like to give a shout out to my representative, Grace Meng. I'd like to thank her for her help. It's been very valuable to us in this state and 2 other states. I'd like to thank you for guiding me to the right place and for helping us out with our little union problem. The same goes for Miss Nydia Velasquez. I'd like to thank you too. All of us at Skyhop, the striking Skyhop drivers, we'd like to thank you for supporting us. It seems that you have made us your priority, and I appreciate that very much. We're now trying to help our brothers and sisters in Vegas, and it looks like we're going to be successful there, but yet there's still going to be a lot of contention, and the same things that happened in New York City are probably going to happen in Vegas. But I still like to thank you for your great help. It's helped us immensely. Now on to another subject. In my own life, there's something that I've been looking at that needs to be taken care of. And I know a child that was part of my family through marriage that I cared about, and they don't have to be a member of my family to care about a child that I don't want to see sexually abused. So that child, you know who you are. In New York State, right? You could file civil lawsuits against abusers and institutions until they are 55 years old. You got up to 55 years old to straighten this out, because I'm telling you right now, if I feel my daughter's not safe and you weren't safe from these people predating on you, and then your guardian handing you over to them, what makes you think your current kids are safe? Why take a chance? And you know who's responsible for that, and that's the same person that's running a Ponzi scheme that can end up destroying your little family unit there. Please don't take the risk with your children. Please listen to me. You were a good kid. I was there when some people used to tell you, just because your skin is light doesn't mean you're not doing any work, and you know who that is. And I kind of have the feeling that you did what you did to escape her, and I don't blame you. Now, speaking of the laws on that, okay, what happens with the Mann Act? It's a white slavery act of 1910. Is when you take any person, adult or a child, across state lines so you can have sex with them. And unfortunately, that has happened. Now, that affects all parties involved. Now, there's a group of people, I have some of them on video, that were at the girl's wedding. Now, the funny thing about the girl's wedding is that the groom wasn't there. In other words, the girl was in her bridal dress, dancing around and taking pictures, but the groom wasn't present because they knew what they were doing was wrong, and they wanted to hide it from the rest of the world. But something that evil you can't hide. It's a numbers game. The girl was pregnant at 8 months pregnant in February 15th, 2015. She just turned 15. I do think the girl in the picture was actually 14, because I understand her birthday was in December, but I could be wrong. So she was absolutely impregnated when she was around 14 years old. And they allowed the girl to be the guardian, or you can call her the mother, allowed the girl to be transported from New York State to Connecticut, which would violate the Mann Act, and it's called white slave traffic. As simple as that. But it actually applies to all races. So I want people who are going to be watching this video. Now, the person that perpetrated the act on the young girl and crossed her across state lines, I do believe he's looking at 85 years. Plus, he's also involved in a Ponzi scheme, so he's probably looking at 100 years. Now, the person that was the guardian of the child, as I understand it, is looking at 20 to 25 for, she was a foster care parent, but the kid was actually her relative, and somehow she forgot to report that the child was raped at 14 by a 29-year-old. There's going to be some serious repercussions on that as well. Now, there's a whole bunch of members in that family that knew that girl was getting married at 14 years old and she was 8 months pregnant, because they did have a wedding, and there were pictures and videos that proved they were at the wedding. All of those people should be on the sex offenders list. People that over the age of 18 when that was happening, that knew it, they get a charge 1 to 2 years, a $10,000 fine, and they have to go on the sex offenders registry. Now, I want to know if anybody thinks those punishments, if they're convicted, are too harsh. Now, for the person that perpetrated these whole acts, I have no problem of never seeing him again on the street, because I found out there was more than one victim. As the parent and guardian of the child, 20 years, well, they better take a look at the other kids, because I'm pretty sure there's other things there. And I also seen that all of a sudden in 2022, a full-grown female showed up out of nowhere. When I knew the girl had 4 kids, now she has 5 all of a sudden. And to tell you the truth, I don't think it's a good idea. Whoever's parents gave that girl to them, it was a really, really bad idea. I don't see nothing good happening to that girl. I have pictures of her. If you have any sense, you'll get her back to Argentina and get her away from that group, because to tell you the truth, people who have 2/3 of their kids put in the ground before them, I wouldn't class them as being good parents. And that's why I'm worried about my daughter. So anybody, I'm specifically asking to my subs, do you think 85 years or life for the child rape? What do you think? Do you think the punishment for the parent that gave the kid away and knew the kid was raped by this person, what should happen to us? 20 to 25 high enough? Because I don't think so. And to the people who knew about it, the adults who knew about it and actually hid it from me, because they knew I would have done something, because at the time I was they would call me an armed federal peace officer. Like, I would qualify to work in the court system. The white shirts that you see with the judge, I would qualify to have that job. Matter of fact, there's people I used to work with that have that job now. I have run into them in my recent endeavors in the court. So, I want you guys to know. And also, should this be an important factor when I finally go back to family court? Do you think this is actually worth mentioning, why I'm going to be asking for full custody? Do you think this is a fair reason? I think it's a great reason to protect my daughter from getting what the rest of the children got, and it wasn't good. And on that, I'm out of here.